guys, welcome back to the Needy Homesteader channel and Souptember, 30 days of soups brought to you by the most incredible content creators, women here on YouTube who have each taken a day to make soup for you all throughout the month of September. I will leave a playlist to Souptember 2025 up above so you guys can go check out all of the videos. Leave heartfelt comments under each one, because randomly there'll be a random video and a random comment will be chosen at the end of Souptember to receive a giveaway. So I'll also leave a link up here to Leanne's channel. Leanne is the one who put all this together. Her channel is called the Mennonite Farmhouse. She's a great girlfriend of mine, a sister in Christ, and just puts out the most amazing content. She's an incredible baker, an incredible cook, a beautiful canner, and so go over, check out her her YouTube channel and go subscribe. Tell her that Needy sent you. And today we are making French onion soup. This is my last day here of Souptember, even though I'm going to be following all the ladies up until the end, but this is my final addition to the collaboration. It'll be French onion soup, and not only are we going to make it together, but we're also going to can it. So if you're a canning queen out there, you get a twofer today, a 2-for-1. So if you do not can and you just want to make this for dinner, you can make it in a huge batch like I'm going to be making for canning, or you can half the recipe. Just cut it in half and make a nice big pot of soup for dinner. But if you're feeding a lot of family, if you have a large family, the big recipe will not only feed everyone where everyone can have seconds, but you might have a little left over for lunch. So I went ahead and canned mine. Mine is going up in the pantry for, there's nothing better than on a cold, snowy winter day getting French onion soup out of my pantry that I've made, warming it up with and eating it with a toasted piece of sourdough bread. Oh, it's like the ultimate comfort food. So I look forward to it. I'm the only one in my family that eats French onion soup, so I can be greedy and it can be all mine, and I can make it the way that I like it. So I'm going to share with you my altered recipe for it. The original recipe comes from the Canning Granny. Can I speak today? The Canning Granny. I will leave her link down below in the description box for you. You can go over and see her original recipe. I have doctored mine up. I like mine with a bit more flavor. So I'm going to share with you like my recipe that I have tweaked throughout the years. I've been making this since 2012. It's one of my favorite things. My late husband used to enjoy it. My new husband does not. He's he's not a fan of the onion soup, but he loves the potato soup. So so I get to be greedy with my French onion. So I'm going to share with you today my recipe, and if you have any questions for me, leave them down below in the comment section. I will come and try my very best to answer them for you. But without further ado, I'm going to take you into my kitchen and we're going to make some French onion soup together. All right, you guys, let's begin making this soup. So here I have 10 pretty good size medium to large onions. These are Michigan candy onions, which is what I'm using because I was able to get them freshly grown at my local fruit and veggie stand. So I will be using that. So this is 10. It's going to really depend on how many onions you want in your soup. If you want a lot of onions or if you just want a little bit of onions. I think 10 onions for 7 quarts is perfect. I've got 7-quart jars that have been just washed in hot soapy water, so those are good to go. Over here I have my big chicken fryer out. I will be sauteing my onions in this. I have my big stock pot out. We'll be making the broth in that. In order to make the broth, you need beef stock. I am using home canned beef stock. You can buy over the counter. You could use water and then use a bouillon on top of it, but I like beef stock with bouillon because I like it rich. So it all depends on how you like your onion soup, and we're going to taste this now before we can it, so you can tweak it if you want to, but I am going to be using 7 quarts of home canned beef stock. And then I'm also going to be adding some black pepper, some canning salt. I'm going to be adding some granulated onion and granulated garlic, some Better Than bouillon, some Worcestershire sauce, and some steak sauce to this. And then I've got a little extra because I don't know how much I have left in this one. And that's it. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get out some butter, just about 3 tablespoons, enough to saute up our onions. Not too much because we don't want this buttery in our stock, but we do want to saute up the onions. So let me go grab the butter. So I got about 3 tablespoons in there, maybe a little smidgen more. The kids used it for this morning for bagels, so it wasn't quite on the spot, but it'll work. So before you saute onions, melt your butter. Don't put your onions in with cold butter. Get this nice and hot, get it nice and melted, and then throw your onions in. Okay, let me get this melted. Okay, once you get the butter nice and melted, now I'm not going to dump this whole thing in, but we're going to put some in here, and then we can add to it. Add about half the bowl. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some canning salt. Ignore my cats. I'm going to go ahead and add some canning salt to that. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of black pepper. Just for that extra flavor as we cook these onions up. Now, this might take a minute, so I will not bore you. So through the magic of video editing, I will bring you back when I get this somewhat sauteed down a little bit, and then we'll add the remaining onions to it. Okay, so once they start kind of just cooking down a little bit, rendering down, if I want to use the proper term, I'm going to add another half of the bowl. And now we'll get these cooked in. This is just a much easier way than just overwhelming your pot. And then it'll take forever. Okay, we're going to add the last of them. Beautiful. You see? Then it won't take you an hour to saute onions. Like half the time if you just add it in little batches. Alright, I'm going to let this cook down, and then we'll make the broth. Okay, now I have mine over medium-high heat. You're going to sear these, you're going to caramelize these the way you like them, okay? If you like them like this, use them like this. I like a little sear on mine. I think it just adds more flavor. And we're getting there though. I like mine a little brown. You know, I started making this in 2012. I think it was my first soup that I ever canned. I got it from a canning lady that I met on one of the canning message boards. This is back when they had message boards, not just Facebook groups. The Canning Granny. I'll find the link to her website if she still has it up, and I'll leave it down below. I have tweaked it along the way throughout the years of making this. But it's a great basic staple recipe. Put it in your canning book, especially if you love French onion soup. But even if you just like making, like I said, I use this in like loose hamburgers. I use this in soup starter, stew starter. It's just so flavorful to put in. But man, do I love, on a cold, snowy winter day, cracking open a jar of French onion soup and having it with a slice of toasted sourdough bread. It's so good. I don't like my onion soup with cheese. You'll have to let me know down below. Do you like it with cheese melted on top or no? I am a no cheese person. But I love onion soup. If they have onion soup on a menu, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm more than likely getting it. So it's so good. It's so hearty. And this particular recipe is so full of flavor. I really hope you enjoy it. So, all right, we're getting close here, and then we will put together the broth. Okay, this is exactly how I like mine. Ooh, with a little sear on it. You do not have to cook yours down this much if you don't want to, but this is how I prefer it. Okay, so I've taken it off of the heat. And then I am going to move this over to my kitchen island to just kind of get it out of the way, so that then we can focus on making the stock. Okay, so now this calls for 28 cups of beef stock. So, like I said, I'm using my home canned. Do not have to. I'm going to go ahead and put this on medium, medium, not really medium high, more like just above medium. You can buy beef stock, or like I said, if you want, you can use water. I just think it's more flavorful with beef stock. So I am using 7 quarts. So I can can 7 quarts. That'll give me a little extra broth to play with if I need it. And then I'm going to put these jars right into my hot soapy water. Wash them out, load them in my dishwasher, make it easy. We just ordered another quarter of a cow, and we did not do, oh, it killed my husband. My husband did get a couple of steaks, but the porterhouse, the, I forgot what else. Everything's being ground into ground beef. So really it's going to be like ground steak. It's going to be so good. So I'm going to have that in my freezer, and it's going to come with some soup bones. So I'm super excited about that, because once we get more soup bones, we'll roast them up and we'll make some more beef stock. So, all right. So 7 quarts or 28 cups of beef stock. Okay, then we're going to do 4 teaspoons of canning salt. I would have used 2 tablespoons, but I can't find my tablespoons. They're around here somewhere. I have a lot of canning projects going on. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of black pepper to this. Oh, I found my tablespoons. They were in the other canning project. Okay, let me dry this off here. Okay, I'm going to add a teaspoon of granulated onion, a teaspoon of granulated garlic. You can use powder. It might clump, so just be careful with it. That's why I like granulated over the powder. Okay, we're going to do 4 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, 1. 2. 3. And 4. Now I'm going to add 3 heaping tablespoons of Better Than Bouillon roasted beef. In fact, I might add just a smidgen more because I don't have much left in my jar. I can't put that back in the fridge. So mine might have slightly more. You can add more or less. You can use the powdered if you want. I just think this not only tastes better, but it's also, I just like canning it more. I think it cans really well, especially through the pressure canning stage. All right. Okay, and then I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of A1 steak sauce. Okay, now we're just going to give this a nice good stir. And we're just going to bring this up to a boil. And then once we get it to a boil, we'll taste it and we will adjust it depending on what we think it needs. So, ooh, it smells so good. We brought it up to a full rolling boil and I let it boil for about 5 minutes or so. And now I turned it down and now we're gonna taste this, okay? So I get a soup spoon here and ooh, that's so good. I think it needs a little more salt, a little more pepper. But otherwise, that is spot on. So, okay, let me add a little bit more canning salt. Probably just about a teaspoon, maybe even half a teaspoon there. And then just a sprinkling more of black pepper. If I had to guess, probably need much, just a little, just a smidgen. All right, let me get this canning ladle and I'm setting up my canning station. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut this off of the heat now. And I'm going to move you back and we're going to get ready to can. Okay, so hopefully you can see I have a little more than 4 cups of onions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just evenly distribute these onions into every jar. Now, if you want more onions, you can cook up more onions.
For me, I mean, I love the onions, but really on a cold winter's day, I enjoy the broth more than anything. Dipping like toasted sourdough into the onion broth. It's like my favorite. So, of course, mine cooked down a little more. You can leave yours a little less cooked if you want. And then put a little bit more in the ones that I was a little more skimpy on. Oh, a little more in this one. A little more in this one. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'll get one that has more onions for like soup for lunch, and then one with less onions when I'm using it for loose hamburgers. All right, let me get this into my sink, and then we'll start canning. So if you hear a lot of noise outside, I do have the window open, and Danny's out trimming trees around the house. You're doing all those fall projects before the winter comes, because usually in Michigan it comes quickly. So we're going to fill this to 1-inch headspace. Okay, I'm going to go just a little below that so I can debubble it. Ooh, this looks so good. Now I'm also going to add to this, I should have grabbed my I'm going to add to this 1 teaspoon of dehydrated green onions, chopped green onions to this, because it'll look pretty and it will taste fantastic. Okay, so 1-inch headspace, my debubbler. Oh, I just washed it. Oh, here it is. Okay. I made sure everything's washed. I even have them over here. Hot water. Those were washed in hot soapy water. Rinsed well. We're going to debubble this. And I really want a spoon rest. I hate making messes. Make sure it's debubbled. Let me get you off of this tripod and just show you what that looks like with all the onions in it. Oh, it's perfect. So good. Okay, so rest that. Now we want 1-inch headspace, and I'm just slightly shy. So we're going to go right up to that first main ring. Perfect. Okay. And then we are going to put that on the next jar. We're going to take straight vinegar, wipe those rims, especially with this because this can be a little greasy. Get a lid and a ring. Let me get a soft. Okay, fingertip tight. And then this is for ready for the canner. So I'm just gonna tip that back for right now because my canner has the lid on it still. So hold on, let me, here's my water, and I'm gonna can it on this burner today because after I'm done filming this, I'm going to be canning more blackberry jelly for my dad. I'll leave a link to that video up above for you if you want to go check that out. So, alright, let me get this. Ooh, look at that. Right into the canner. And then, let's get this one canned up. I'm going to go ahead and add my, because I'll forget, little green onions here. Get them in all the jars so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, almost to the 1 inch headspace. I'm going to go ahead and debubble. Get those onions nice and mixed in. Okay, and then top her off. Perfect. Okay. And clean the rim. Okay. Lid. Ring. Fingertip tight, which for me needs to be a little tighter because my hands are pretty weak. And there we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. All right. You guys want to watch the whole process? Maybe I'll speed this along to music. I don't want to bore you. So maybe I'll set this to music and speed it along so you can watch the whole process but not be too bored. All right, here we go. we have left. Okay, I will put that into a little pint jar and I will drink that. And then here are all our jars. So now at this point, if you were just making the soup, you could half this recipe. Okay, you don't need all this if you're not canning it. So instead of 28 cups, you know, do that in half, 14. I'll even leave a recipe. Like I said, I'll leave her original recipe. I think her original recipe is 12 cups. So you can half this. And then put your onions right in it and serve it for dinner. But if you're like me and you are a canning queen and you want this on your pantry shelf for the winter, I'm your girl. All right, so I'm going to put the lid on this. We're going to bring this up to a steady stream of steam. We're going to vent our canner for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to put the weight on. I'm going to bring this up to 10 pounds of pressure. For my canner, it's almost 11 pounds, 240 degrees, and we are going to can this and process this for 75 minutes. That's the time for soup in a pressure canner, okay? So 75 minutes, then I'm going to turn it off the heat, let it come off of pressure, remove the weight, and then crack open the lid, and then I will bring these out. And when I get to that point, I will bring you back and I will show you what these jars look like. I'm gonna pray over them, make sure, hopefully everything goes nice and smooth. Until then, I'm gonna be canning more blackberry jelly. And it's a busy day and evening here in my kitchen this Saturday night. So, all right, I will see you back in a second, but it'll be a couple hours my end. Okay, you guys, this is it. So beautiful. Headspace is beautiful on each jar. Oh, I'm so happy to have these back in my pantry. So I hope you give this a try. If you do, let me know. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. It's been so much fun being part of Souptember this year. Thank you to Leanne for inviting me. Thank you to all the other ladies who participated this year. It was fantastic. And I hope you guys tune in for the rest of the month to watch all the other videos. Remember, there's a giveaway at the end of Souptember. It'll be a random comment from a random one of our videos. So make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure it's a heartfelt one, not just like an emoji or something. And you'll be entered into the giveaway. So yeah. I'll be seeing you soon, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I can't wait to get to know you better, and yeah, enjoy the soup. All right, take care. God bless.